Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jeremy, and I just got home. I just got home like 5 minutes ago from spring break in Los Angeles, and yeah, I had a good time. And I want to share a funny story with you guys on what happened when we were just hanging out in LA with some cousins, and we were just having a fun time. I was spectating some colleges, and I'll probably talk about that in a different video, but. Yeah, this video is going to be dedicated. My phone just rang if you heard that. But this is going to be dedicated to a funny story of what happened to me when I was hanging out with my cousins and a few of my family members. So let's just jump right into it. But what you're seeing in the background right now is some dual HS10 gameplay. And yeah, that's basically it. So okay, I'll just go into it. So I was with two of my cousins and my dad and my brother, and we were at this place called Boomers in Los Angeles, which is like I don't really know what to call it. It's like a, I guess, place where you can go mini golfing. It has mini golf batting cages, go racing, go karts and stuff like that, and an arcade inside. So it's one of those places. They have a bunch of different names, you know, just stuff like that. So they had really awesome go karts there. They were really fast. They were like 35-mile-per-hour go-karts. I asked the guy how fast they were, and they were pretty fast. I mean, they were serious business. They weren't like for 5-year-olds. But anyways, there was a bunch of signs everywhere that said no bumping, and the reason this was is obviously because they don't want you to bump, and they don't want you to probably mess up the carts or break the carts or hurt anyone. And these carts were cool. You could it wasn't like the ones that you have to race solo. You actually raced against like a bunch of people that were standing in line with you. So there was about probably 15 carts on the track at once, and you would try to race and compete with others. And that was really cool, and I thought that was really awesome. So there was no bumping signs everywhere. There's these signs like on the carts, on the walls, on everywhere you could see. There were signs that said no bumping, and then before the race started and stuff, they would always say like, oh, no bumping or you'll get kicked off the course. And me and my friends, not my friends, my family, were just like, you know what, screw that, we're gonna bump everyone, because you know it is bumper like go-karts, and we're not gonna not bump. I mean, it's way more fun to just slam people out. And yeah, so we were going on the course, and we were like scouting out the cars to see which ones were the fastest, because we definitely noticed some. We went like 10 times on the go-karts, and some of the times the carts were so slow, and some of them were blazing fast. So we were kind of scouting out the carts before we actually got on. And once we got on, we kind of like, you know, it started off the race. They pulled away the cones, and everybody was gunning it on the track, and we were having a great time. You know, these carts were fast. They were not child's toys. You had to be like a certain height to ride them, because there was a child's go-kart track also, and I guess you just had to be a certain height, because these were actually really fast. And so we were on the track, and we noticed that you could, you know, if you've watched those cop movies, the way to spin out a car that's escaping from you is to like slam into the back end of their car to the rear of their car, and it'll make it spin out. And so with my knowledge of those cop videos and stuff, I used that to my advantage. Even though it said no bumping, you know, I wanted to screw around, I wanted to have fun. So on the racetrack, my cousin was driving right in front of me, and I went and I smashed the rear end of her go-kart, and she spun out. And that was just so fun. I realized how fun it was, and I didn't get caught that time. He didn't see me. There was only one guy like monitoring the whole track, so I guess I got lucky on that one, and he didn't see me. And then my brother came by and spun me out, which was pretty awesome, even though it kind of dropped me back like way back in the race. But we were just more in for the fun of smashing people's go-karts. But later in the race, this guy was trailing right behind me, and I could see that he was trying to pass me. He had a kind of a faster go-kart than me, and he ended up almost spinning me fully out, except for the fact that I recovered on the spin out, and he passed me. And then my cousin was in front of him, so I was at the back of the three, and I was pissed, because you know, I was doing good. I was about to pass my cousin, and then that dude comes out of nowhere and spins me out. So I'm behind in the back, and you know, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to spin this dude out. So what I do is I do my move. I speed up a little bit. I try to cut inside on the corner, and while he's making the turn around this, like, there's, you know, there's sharp turns on these go-kart places. and that's a perfect like vantage point for you to smash the rear end of their car because it sticks out a little bit when you turn. So I smashed his car, which spun it out, and then that smashed into my cousin's car in front, which spun her out, and then I had nowhere to go because they were blocking the whole track, so I smashed into the whole thing. So obviously the dude that was managing the go-kart racing noticed, and because it was a 3-car pileup, so he definitely noticed. And when I came around the track, like, we all got back on our feet on the go-karts, and I came around the track near the starting point, and he like was kind of like waving at me to come in, and I was the only one being waved at, so I drove in, and he's like, you have to get out of the car. And then I was like, why do I have to get out of the car? And he's like, I saw you started that 3-car crash. And I was just like, he was like, you were bumping, so you gotta leave. And then I was like, everybody else was bumping, it's not just me, man. Why are you kicking just me out and not anybody else that was bumping? It's not like I'm the only one who has ever bumped on these go-karts. And he's like, well, I just saw you bumping and not anybody else, so you gotta go for an hour. And I was just like, are you kidding me, dude? Everybody bumps on this. It's not the end of the world. Your job is not at stake for one person bumping. And don't get me wrong, man. I was arguing my heart out. I was trying to find any way that I could to stay in that go-kart race. And meanwhile, my cousins and my family were driving by, and they were laughing hysterically. And that guy did not want to be argued with. I literally stood there for 5 minutes trying to, get him to reason with me. But he almost called security because I would not leave. And so I just ended up leaving, and he came to talk to me after. He was like, I'll talk to you about it if you want. And I was like, no, forget it. And I just walked away. I interrupted him in the middle of a sentence because I was pissed. And yeah, that's my story on how I got banned for an hour, and I ended up rage quitting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Have a good day.